Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and in this video, I'm excited to share with you some really fun information and the health benefits of the beautiful cinnamon. Now, cinnamon is something that many people know and love because when you have cinnamon baking in banana bread or in a pumpkin pie, or you smell fresh cinnamon tea, it puts this warm, spicy, beautiful aroma that creates memories of family and good food, and all kinds of beautiful, beautiful things are associated with cinnamon, even just for its aroma and for its taste. So there's many things about cinnamon as far as its health benefits that you might not be aware of, and maybe you are aware of it and you incorporate it into your nutrition routine as a supplement like I do because of what you know and what you love about cinnamon. Cinnamon is from South and Southeastern Asia and specifically grown in Sri Lanka. In fact, for many, many centuries, it was a very prized, very well-known spice that was very expensive, and only sometimes the rich and the powerful and people who had the money or the royalty to have cinnamon as part of their life were able to partake of it. So we are really, really, really lucky that we live in a time where this can be sustainably harvested and grown. There's actually commercial farms that grow cinnamon trees, mostly, like I said, in Sri Lanka, which is where it's from, because it likes heat, it likes humidity, it likes sun. It's very slow growing. And the part of this evergreen tree that is used as cinnamon is the inner bark. And what they typically do is they will take the young shoots that grow off of it, where they will harvest the cinnamon. In fact, I've got a couple of little curled up cinnamon sticks right here. This is one of the things I have over here on my little very special herb altar, because this has a lot of psychological, a lot of spiritual, a lot of magical folklore to it, besides all the beautiful health benefits that this contains. In fact, this is one of those things that continues to provide a good aroma no matter how long it sits there. And I actually change this out about once a year just because I love this so much. It smells so good. It adds a nice little beautiful, not just look to my little cool altar over here, but it adds the aroma of fresh cinnamon. In fact, what I really love to do with cinnamon, besides put this into a tea, in fact, I buy this by the pound, and I will put this in a cup of my tea. So if I'm making up say some chamomile tea, I will steep up the tea, and while it's steeping, I'll put a little cinnamon stick in it, because not only are the health benefits, but just the aroma, the taste, all the beautiful things I love about cinnamon, it just adds to it. So this is something that I not only put into my tea, but I love to infuse it into alcohol and use it the same way I would use vanilla. So I love to make my own homemade vanilla, and we'll get the vanilla beans, slice it down the middle, and put it typically into vodka. Sometimes I'll use organic cane alcohol, but I like to do my spices like vanilla and cinnamon in vodka. And they come with, in the stores here where you buy vodka, you can get them in these really cool bottles that actually you can store it in. And while you're using it, after it's been curing, it makes a really cool bottle to use my vanilla or my cinnamon. So I actually extract my cinnamon the same way I do vanilla. And I have it like I would, if I want to add, some cinnamon extract to something I'm baking, having an extract is a really, really amazing way to do it. Now, you can also sprinkle cinnamon on anything. You can put it into a smoothie. It also makes really good Indian food, really authentic Middle Eastern food uses a lot of cinnamon, and not just because of the way it makes things taste, but because of the health benefits, which are wide and many. So this is a plant that's very difficult to cultivate if you live in places where it's cold weather. You could definitely do it in a greenhouse setting if you provided the humidity and the growing conditions, because like I said, it likes the warmth and the humidity, it likes the sun, and then it likes care. So the people who actually harvest the inner bark of the cinnamon, and it naturally curls. So once it's harvested, it curls like that, and it goes around the world to all the people who get to benefit from it. But there is a skill that's required to harvesting and growing your own cinnamon. Now, there is a long litany of health benefits that I love cinnamon for. In fact, we put cinnamon in 3 of our products. It's in our HeartLove. So HeartLove contains cayenne pepper, cinnamon, and slippery elm. And then we have it in our Stabilize7 because cinnamon is very good and well known for balancing blood sugar. This is one of its most studied health benefits. So it's in our Stabilize7, which is for stabilizing and balancing blood sugar. And then it is in our Elixir No. 9, which is a tincture for the libido. So that has yohimbe, passion flower, and cinnamon. So something to check out if you're interested in looking at our line of herbal remedies that contain cinnamon. Now, the information I share with you, especially now that I'm going to go into the health benefits, are not meant to be medical advice. This is just meant to entertain and educate you. So please do your own due diligence, especially when it comes to adding something into your supplement routine, your health routine, even into your food routine, even though for me, this is one of those things that adds flavor. It adds a little pizzazz. It's so warm and rich and spicy and memory creating. So there's such a beautiful spiritual aspect to cinnamon that this one is very, very easy to add into your routine. But it does create a power punch of health benefits as well. So here's my favorite list, and this is a long one, of the health benefits of cinnamon. So it's got powerful antioxidant activity. So think about all the things that an antioxidant will do. It gets rid of free radicals. You have a powerful antioxidant. Think anti-cancer, anti-aging, antioxidant power. It's got powerful anti-inflammation properties. It's good for blood sugar regulation, support for type 2 diabetes management. There's studies that they're doing on this and have been doing on this for a few decades on managing the type 2 diabetes, which is amazing, which is great. Heart health protection, blood pressure reduction. It has antimicrobial and antifungal properties. It's great for improving your gut health. It enhances your immune system. It's got neuroprotective benefits. So think your brain, the neurons in your brain, okay? It's got neuroprotective benefits. So I think there's a lot of studies that are happening because people are so interested in this stuff that the scientific medical profession, which has been focusing more on pharmaceuticals and prescription drugs, they're now starting to put their focus on these natural things because people are demanding it. So it is showing potential for neuroprotective benefits, improved brain function and benefits, anti-cancer potential, anti-clotting properties, support for weight management, improved metabolic health, reduced risk of metabolic syndrome, pain relieving properties, improved oral health, liver protection, and improved skin health. And then, just that is the big list of stuff I love about that. Now, there is a couple of species that you want to really pay attention to, Ceylon or Cassia. Now, Ceylon is the one that has less coumarin, which is actually better for you. Cassia has more coumarin, which can be problematic in really high amounts. So the one that is not just used, from my perspective, in supplements, but also on a regular basis in your food, in your cooking, in your teas, should be Ceylon cinnamon. And that is Ceylon. So something to pay attention to when you're looking for a source of a really good cinnamon to add into your supplement routine, add into your diet, have available, put into a tincture if you're so inclined. I've even actually infused cinnamon into an oil and then played around with it in my different salves and the different things that I like to play around with just in my own herbal apothecary, super, super fun. I would suggest looking into making your own cinnamon extract, because if you make your own vanilla, this is something to kind of have and add into your spice cupboard and just have at the ready for whenever you want to add it. Now, what I thought I would do is look into some of the folklore, the mysticism, the symbolism, the spirituality that comes along with having cinnamon as part of your life. So not just part of your health routine, but as something really beautiful to have in your home, to add aroma into your life and into the beautiful consciousness of being a human being in this amazing world we live in. So I found some really cool things I want to share with you to wind this up. So cinnamon's enduring magical and symbolic reputation comes from a rare convergence of biology, psychology, and cultural meaning. It does not function in folklore as a passive luck ingredient, but as a catalyst, something that pushes states of potential into motion. So this takes states of potential and actually adds the action component. It puts things into motion, okay? At the most basic level, cinnamon activates the body. Its warmth and pungency stimulate the nervous system, increase alertness, and subtly elevate heart rate and focus. Okay, long before people had scientific language for this, they recognized the effect somatically. Cinnamon makes you feel awake, present, and alive. I love that. In symbolic systems, this translates naturally into associations with life force, vitality, and will. Really beautiful. Psychologically, cinnamon's scent plays an outsized role. Smell bypasses rational filtering and speaks directly to emotion and memory. Okay, so when you smell something, your grandma's pumpkin pie, and that cinnamon smell is just there. Okay, so it bypasses rational filtering and speaks directly to emotion and memory. I love that, because that we can all relate to that on such a deep emotional level, right? Which is why cinnamon feels both comforting and energizing at once. In ritual context, this makes intention feel more real and more embodied. So when you have an intention, this actually helps it feel more real. We all know the sense of smell is so powerful in creating rituals and memory and emotion and context as we walk through this life, which is one of the reasons I believe that something like cinnamon is so meaningful and so powerful. The mind interprets the sensory intensity as significance, reinforcing belief, commitment, and follow through. In this way, cinnamon doesn't just represent power. It helps generate the internal state that power requires. Think about that. When we step into the power of a decision, when we step into the power of taking action, this actually grounds this in the internal state. It helps ground it in us internally and helps us move forward, which I really love that. So culturally and symbolically, cinnamon aligns with fire, the sun, and authority. Fire transforms, illuminates, and consumes obstacles. The sun governs visibility, confidence, and action. When cinnamon appears in magical systems, it signals a shift from waiting to acting. Okay, so let me say that again. When cinnamon appears in magical systems, it signals a shift from waiting to acting, from internal desires to external expressions. That says it all, right? It is used when something must move, be seen, or be decided. Importantly, folklore consistently frames cinnamon as directional fire. It is praised for breaking stagnation, but cautioned against excess. Too much heat becomes agitation, obsession, or burnout. This mirrors human psychology. Stimulation without grounding leads to instability. So let me read that again. Stimulation without grounding leads to instability. Okay? Thus, cinnamon's lore carries an implicit lesson about power itself. Energy must be aimed, not merely intensified. So in essence, cinnamon's magic persists because it synchronizes this: body sensation, emotional meaning, and symbolic narrative. It teaches that manifestation, whether spiritual or practical, is not about wishing harder, but about aligning intention with embodied action. So beautiful. This is honestly the exact reason I keep this right here on this little beautiful space all the time. Embodied action. And I believe that this is one of the pivotal things, with a small group of other things I have over there that has energetically, aromatically provided all of this for me as I've moved through my life. Cinnamon, in both myth and mind, is the moment when resolve becomes movement, which I totally love. Now, what I would love to know is, what do you love the most about cinnamon? Is it just simply the taste, the aroma, the health benefits of it? I know that when a lot of people discover cinnamon and its health benefits, especially for blood sugar, metabolism, all the things that it does and regulates, and it's so well known for, it becomes a very easy thing to add into your supplement routine and into your daily life, especially if you love it in its, purest form, as putting a cinnamon stick, brewing and steeping into a tea, which is a really, really fun way to do it because it creates ritual. There's the aroma, all the beautiful things. So what do you think about cinnamon? What did I leave out? Because I know there are always things about cinnamon that maybe I haven't experienced that I know many people have, especially in cultures. In fact, one of my very favorite friends owns a restaurant here in Salt Lake City. His name is Omar. He has a Lebanese restaurant. It's my favorite restaurant because it's healthy food, raw food, the food that is cooked. So he started off as a raw food restaurant, but his tradition is the rich spices and all of the things that come with something like a Lebanese tradition cooking. And cinnamon plays a big role in a lot of their savory dishes. And it's just one of my very favorite spices and herbs that carries a power punch of health benefits and so many beautiful emotional memories. And I love the idea of this as a spice that helps you take action. So amazing. So let me know what you think about this. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one.